Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And you have to ask, what do you do if you're a sleazy ex-SNP MP who loses his seat at the general election and can't get another job because people perceive you as a bit of a creep who likes to touch up other people's children? Well, this has been a very difficult time for Patrick Grady, ex-MP, no longer an MP, because that's exactly what he is. He's a man who even lost the whip from the SNP because of his predilection for young boys. Now, he eventually got back in. He was accepted back into the fold. Ian Blackford went out to bat for him. He was not suggesting that Ian Blackford was a batty boy. He was just trying to protect his chum, his very close personal chum, from all these allegations, despite them being true, of course, that he liked to touch up young staffers. Well, of course, he couldn't get a job. And so it's, let's have a little jobs for the boys round. And they've basically created a role with him in a charity that is bankrolled by the Scottish Government. So the Scottish Government have more or less said to this charity, look, we fund you. Find a job for wee Patrick. It's well away from any sort of kids or anything like that. I'm not suggesting that Patrick touched up children. Not at all. Far from it. The people he liked to touch up were over the age of consent, as it were. They were just in a position where he had authority over them. Very creepy, isn't it? So as long as they actually keep him away from vulnerable people and keep his little hands away from touching young boys up, I'm sure he'll be fine. But it's odd that they have to go to the strange extent of basically finding him this role because they don't want dear Patrick to go hungry, do they? You know, because he knows a lot of their secrets. So it's been, don't worry, Patrick, we'll look after you. And so there he is. He's working now for this, quote, charity. It's not really a charity. It's just a Jobs for the Boys operation called the Scottish International Development Alliance. And really a thing that shouldn't exist because Scotland is obviously isn't a national body. It's a region of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. But there we go. He was it was 5-6 years ago now. God blimey, on 2016, 8 years ago now. It's when he started touching up this young staffer. Staffer had to bite it, as it were, for quite a while, then eventually complained. It all came out. It's all very seedy. But then when you look at Patrick Grady, he just looks like a very seedy man. So it's not surprising he couldn't get a job in the real world. If the next government that comes in decides they're no longer going to fund this Scottish International Development Agency, what's Patrick going to do? Where's he going to go? Who's going to employ him? Not many. Not many at all, is there? Would you employ a man like Patrick Grady? I know I wouldn't. Yeah. Creepy little toad. Thanks very much. Bye.